Welcome to this new episode of The Light Leaders. Today I want to talk about what is the new us. Because if you've been following this podcast for some time, you might have heard me talk about the new us or ask my guests about it. Or if you just don't know me and you arrive here, that's a topic I'm really passionate about, is how do we create a new us, and we're going to define it here. It's generally a more conscious us, a higher vibe, a higher frequency new us. But I want to get a little bit more specific because how we think of it is going to bring it into manifestation. Why? Right? So why does it matter? Because if we agree on how it looks like, if we have the same vision, if we hold that vision together, it's going to manifest more in accordance to that, more quickly. And what I've seen is a lot of us in the new us community, in the conscious communities, we talk about creating that new us, but maybe we have a very different vision in mind. And that's where people like me and other conscious leaders, sometimes we come into co-creating communities and it doesn't work out because then there's a lot of specificities around what to eat, around money, technology, relationships, sex, many things where people have actually very different opinion of how the new us looks like. So in this episode, am I going to give you exactly how the new us looks like? No, I'm more giving ideas. I'm more giving possibilities that I want to gravitate towards. And I want to hear yours too. The reason why I'm not so definitive about it is because I believe this existence is a play and evolution is part of it. There's no final destination, right? So the journey is the destination. And also the way we're fractalized here in a body-mind complex, we as humans, with our intellectual mind, the game is to co-create with God, which ultimately is not separate from us. But here in that intellectual mind, I can't pretend to know exactly what is right. So these are more ideas. I'm not sure about it, but I want to get more specific still. And I'll give more concrete ideas. But also another topic is, when is that new us coming, right? So the thing is, with new us, not black and white. For me, I feel in many ways I already live in the new us with the people I'm surrounded with here in Bali, whether it's the locals and the field they hold spiritually, or the expat communities. The community here is pretty conscious, I would say. And the beautiful nature and the fruits and my life and the abundance here, I already in many ways live in the new us. But there's always a next stage. And even the world today, there's many things that are much better than 500 years ago. So we're already in the new West. There's always a next new West. So to me, it's not so black and white. There's a new West, there's an old Earth. It's contextual. So let's say 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what I see as new Earth today might become old Earth, as, it makes sense, right? Yeah, so how does it look like? I'm gonna give you first a scenario that's more realistic, that we can see now from our human perception, that I can see more easily. And then I'll go into more out there things, and we can do the exploration there. And through that, I would love to hear in the comment, what does the new us look like to you? So to me, how it looks like in the realistic scenario, which I feel is already part of my life, but could be even more, let's say 10 years from now, 5 years from now, is I wake up in a beautiful place, villa with my partner. There's a lot of nature, but it's also luxurious. It's not just a tent in the jungle, but it's integrated in nature. The type of sacred geometry, natural architecture that's both beautiful and luxurious, and at the same time fits into nature. It's not like blocks of concrete type of luxury, if that's even luxury. And there's a big abundance, like big gardens with lots of fruits, a lot of fresh vegetables, obviously organic. And I live with my partner in my own place, but I can walk 100, 200 meter, go to a more community center, or maybe 500-meter, whatever, where there is amazing organic restaurant with beautiful plant-based food. There is a yoga center. I can do yoga in the morning. There's a paddle court for sure. There's meditation, ecstatic dance. So this kind of community activity. And this beautiful nature. So I can go in a waterfall and I can drink the water from that waterfall because it's so pure and so pristine. And then we have creation centers also because we create podcasts, we have conversation, we create art, music. There's a lot of creation coming. We probably have AI helping us do a lot of the things that we usually don't like to do. I see technology as part of it because that's the timeline we're in at the moment. Let's have a quick break from the episode as there is something I want to share with you. In our world of ever-increasing distractions, clickbaits, it's important to share these long-form, deep conversations. And that's why I love podcasts. It allowed me to speak with my heroes and learn from them, to share my voice online and build a personal brand. And now I've become passionate about helping other conscious leaders also grow a high-impact podcast so we can flood the internet with insightful and meaningful content that helps us create that more conscious and beautiful world our hearts know is possible. If you feel the call to have your own podcast too, I can highly recommend it. And I'd love to help you. I created a community of impact-driven podcasters. And I also work one-on-one with leaders of the new earth to help them scale their impact with a podcast. Check out the links in the description if you want to learn more. And now, let's resume the episode. How does that sound to you? So this vision, on top of it, I would say we're very healthy. We have a very healthy lifestyle. And we're very healthy in our relationship with each other. We implement authentic relating and conscious communications between each other. And so that's quite a utopian, realistic vision of the new earth. And that's something I'm already pretty actively building in Bali. So we're not fully there yet. So for example, in Bali, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of pollution. Definitely don't want to drink the water from the rivers here. But there's amazing people, amazing nature. There's a lot of that good energy there that we also already cultivate. And then we can go into more out there concepts. I'll go into there. Also, it can be interesting to see what the new earth is not, right? Sometimes it's easier to define by going with what it's not. What it's not is war, it's crime, slavery, factory farming and animal abuse, pollution and bad treatment of nature in general. I believe depression also in the new earth, we take care of our mental health, whether it's through healing and therapy, or it can be through meditation, more embodied activities, somatic. We can find there's a lot of different ways. And also a spiritual understanding that we're here to celebrate and that everything is perfect. There's no disease also, so we really be very healthy. So that's very, I believe, a very achievable thing. And of course, in many ways, I live already in that new earth. Again, the new earth isn't just something in the future, it's something already here now. So in my life in Bali, there's no war. There's pretty little crime. It's very safe here. And I eat plant-based, mainly raw. The pollution, definitely, we're not there. Even if I try to have the best environment, it's like not great. More out there ideas also. I think it's interesting to explore that because there are things that are more obvious, like what I shared here. I don't think any of you guys think, oh, having war between countries is a great thing in the US. Probably you're not going to say that. But there will be different views on potentially relationship, money. Is there money in the US? Is there tech? Like, do we use phones that are even better, or do we get rid of phones and rediscover our telepathic abilities? Interesting. People will have different opinions on that in the conscious community. People will be open to maybe we teleport. So there are these technologies like AI and transportation and robots, and at the same time, anything is possible. This plane is the creation of consciousness, and I totally believe in telepathy, in teleportation, all these things. And so we can also cultivate getting back into those more organic technologies of consciousness. And that seems more out there. I might have lost some people on this, but I'm open as long as we remain that state of higher consciousness, peace, authenticity, love, freedom. And then it can look like really the planet increasing its frequency and communicating with extra dimensional entities. Again, teleportation. It can be things that we can't even fathom, that I can't even fathom now with my human mind because I'm not familiar with it. Maybe I can't even dream it. So how can I manifest it then? And but yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. The place of money also. I feel in the short term, the conscious people with still, even if we're like into giving and wanting gift economy, what I've observed in the last few years being conscious communities is there's still that extra accountability that comes with being paid for something, and being able to measure somehow the impact we have with giving a certain amount. I think it takes very, very high level of feeling of being together and oneness to really do the work as if you're paid today, to give things without money and to really be in that gift economy. I haven't been to Burning Man, but some people say they feel it at Burning Man, but it's only for a short amount of time. And I don't see it as much now, but maybe you can enlighten me. Maybe it's part of your consciousness, not part of mine now. So yeah, the place of tech, the place of money, people might have different opinions. Are we going to be breatharians? Are we still going to enjoy fruits and beautiful plant-based food? I do believe eating animal products won't be a thing in the new earth. Definitely no factory farming, but even eating, I think eating animal products will look weird. Even beautiful things that I love right now, like eating a piece of fruit, maybe it will be weird at some point. Like, why would you eat and then you have to poop and it's dirty? If you feel you can just live on air and it's a higher frequency, maybe that's part of the new us. But maybe it's staying connected to nature in the way that we cultivate our fruit trees and enjoy that. I think they're both beautiful timelines. So here are a few ideas. I want to keep it fairly short for now because again, it's more about ideas, and I want to start a conversation here. I want to start a conversation because, again, the purpose of this is to align our visions so we can co-create and manifest better. So if you vibe with creating the new us, co-creating the new us with nature, with God, but also with each other, well, tell us in the comments, how does it look like to you? Do you vibe with what I shared here? What would you add? What would you remove or change? That's going to be an exciting conversation. So yeah, let me know, and much love.